I really like that you demonstrated a lot of what you were talking about. You didn't just talk about vulnerability, you demonstrated vulnerability. You didn't just talk about reframing, you demonstrated reframing. And then there was one small thing that I really appreciated. At one point, you asked us to take a deep breath, and then we all took a breath, and then you said, now take the deepest breath you've taken all day. And everybody took a much bigger breath. And so often I've seen speakers ask the audience to do something, and then they'll say something like, come on, you can do better than that. And it can come off as scolding the audience. Mm-hmm. And you called us to do more without scolding us, and I really appreciated that. It's great.
Creatively, I love that you gave a lot of access points, right? There was visual art, there was music, there was comedy, like there were so many elements of things that almost felt like a mosaic that brought everything to life and gave somebody where if they didn't resonate maybe with one thing, they could resonate with something else. And the whole thing just felt very much like an access point, an invitation to somebody. And so I just really appreciated the way that you weaved all that stuff together and made it accessible to everybody wherever they were at.
I thought it was really easy to be kind of immersed in your story. The way you shared made it really easy for us to be there with you. It wasn't like you were just telling us or whatever. The visuals you used, like the ocean, I mean, just did a great job of inviting us in to like a first-person view. So great job there.
I thought it was like fabulous how you left us process, because like so many people, they just talk and they don't leave the space for us to receive it emotionally. Like we hear the words, but we don't feel it. So keeping that space in between what you're saying allowed us to actually feel.
Yes, there were three things that really caught my attention that you mentioned. The first one was that you said that creativity is a mindset. Now, I have a technical background. I'm in the technology field. When you said that, in my mind, I'm like, a mindset? Really, I thought it was a skill set. So you made it simple. The second thing was you said that caught my eye was that vision activates your choices. And vision sometimes removes division. And I like that. That made an impact in me as well. And the biggest thing that I have sometimes is the ego. And it was, your message was simple but powerful. You said, be okay with asking for help. And the person that's in my position, where a lot of people looks up to me to make the decision, sometimes allow ego to get in the way because I don't want the people underneath me to think I don't know what I'm doing. So thank you for that.
Well, you started out by making a promise. I will show you a path to joy, right? And when it's time to make a choice, you can. And I thought, ooh, all right, she's committing. But you didn't ever refer directly back to it, and I really liked that. You allowed that statement to hold the space for you without having to come back and ping it constantly with that phrase. I like that. You also used enough really dynamic words when we're talking. We say a lot of things. Sometimes we say similar things in different ways, but you use some dynamic words. Usher in, grip, catalyst, even like windows was really, is that my time?
Keep going.
It was just like they stood out. They were just like that pop of color almost. You know, they brought me in. And then the other thing, there were so many things. You made really honest, genuine eye contact with many, many people in the room. And that's something that you have to practice, I think, a long time. But it was, you did it well, so.
Yeah. I was going to say amazing as always, but what really stood out to me was your use of your face. It was always very consistent with what you had to say, and I really liked that. It was very engaging.
Well, amazing, first of all. There's so much I could say and repeat what everyone else has already said, but very powerful. The singing and the playing was a very powerful moment, and it almost felt like you were up there giving a testimony. And one thing I've always noticed, whether it's in your writing or speaking, is that how well you communicate and relate to others through vulnerability. And it was a very vulnerable presentation, and I think that really resonated kind of led me to turn inward and relate to what you were saying, and very thought-provoking. And I also love how you use dynamics in your voice as you were speaking. Kind of really set the tone, and awesome.
I loved your syncopation and your pauses and the way you delivered it, and like the rhythm and the cadence. And I loved how you like punched him in the gut. It was a nice kind of like, comedic relief, and then like a twist. I did have to kind of catch myself of not still laughing when you were like hyperventilating. I was like, oh shit. And I like how you said it's more than just breathing. Healing is more than just breathing.